Welcome and hello everybody to the Overwatch All-Star Trial presented by the lovely folks here at Star Esports. We've got a real treat for you lovely viewers. The two teams battling out today are going to be they're tied currently in third place, both at 40 points apiece in the standings. And so it's going to be a battle of anything goes as both these two try to find any sort of advantage over the other. But a color can't cast about their play-by-play, and I'll be joined today by the wonderful Bite Me. Bite Me, hello.
How's it going, everyone? I am going to be your play-by-play today. So if I'm right, the first map tonight is going to be Lijiang Tower. So what do you wanna see from this?
Everybody who knows me, Bite Me, will always answer that one with a very loud and resounding pharmacy. I love the pharmacy on Lijiang.
Honestly, but you have to, you have to be worried, when you run that pharmacy on Lijiang, because on Garden we do see a lot of Widowmaker, and on the server room map we do see a lot of McCree. So while I do support, the pharmacy map, I can't be 100% for it.
Well then, what would you want to see in place of this pharmacy?
I see that 222. I'm sort of sad that Powerpuff Girls is officially dead because they fixed the memes. I was rooting for that to stay alive, but it really didn't. In all honesty, I want to see some Ryan Zarya is what I want to see. Maybe with a Mei and a Hanzo.
Oh, you're a favorite of the Mei. Oh dear. I've never liked the Mei. I mean, I get it, she can be very powerful if you can get those walls up and you can separate and annihilate the enemy. Especially that main tank, you just jump straight onto that Reinhardt as soon as he comes out of that choke and just chunk him down, all that HP gone and sent back to spawn. But there are a couple of ways that you can play around the Mei. You can speed boost, you can take a nice little flanking route.
You could, but can you speed boost through a yoink and oink to Maywall? No, I don't think you can.
I've heard many things over the past couple of months to describe an Orisa and hook, but I don't think I've ever quite heard that one. I actually called it pulled pork, is what I like to refer to it as.
That's nice, but sadly I think I'm gonna stick with my yoink and oink because it just flows up the tongue.
Yeah, it is. It just rolls straight off the tongue and into the belly as well, because I mean it makes me hungry. God damn it! Never do that to a person when it's 2 a.m. Bite Me. That's so mean. No, none of the shops are open. I can't order me a burger.
Yo, Grubhub's here for a reason.
Gosh darn it. Well, it will be Team Cancer in the blue and Prospect 3000 in the red today. We can hopefully expect to see quite a bit from these two teams. They've been getting pretty far up in the standings, Bite Me, which means that they must be doing something right.
Honestly, so just between the two of us, just between the two casters and the viewers, not trying to say that I'm trying to inflict some caster's curse right now, but who do you think, because you're a lot more familiar with these teams than I am, who do you think has the quote unquote advantage here?
Oh, the advantage. That's a rough one. I have kind of got a little bit of an inside, and Team Cancer, they thought that the match was in an hour. So they're a little bit scrambling, and so I would give a little bit of an advantage to Prospect 3000. They're going to be a little bit more put together, probably way more warmed up. It may take a couple of maps for Team Cancer to really settle in.
Yeah, but a couple of maps, a couple of matches, that's just, if you're warmed up and you're ready to play 2 maps in, I'm sorry, that's just not good enough. That's not cutting it.
No, unfortunately it is not. So Team Cancer will be, unfortunately, just a little bit on the back foot, but Prospect 3000, they're going to take any advantage where they can get it, Bite Me. This is the tournament. If someone disconnects, then, oh yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's lucky for you, and you are going to take full advantage of their misfortune.
Have you ever been in a tournament for Overwatch before? It sort of get hectic sometimes.
Actually, I haven't been in tournaments myself, but I've seen a couple of disconnects in my time with Star Esports, and sometimes you do get the gentleman's agreement where they go into the chat and they say, well, we have a disconnected player, can they walk back from spawn? And then sometimes you get the teams who say, yeah, no, that's unlucky, but we're still gonna jump you 5 versus 6.
That reminds me of that one time, I think it was a push on Hanamura for Overwatch World Cup. And I think it was team I don't remember what team it is, but they were pushing Hanamura and they were doing a really good job defending it. And then the Reinhardt DC'd by accident, and so there was just Reinhardt sitting there not doing anything, and there was no gentleman's agreement. It was like, you go there, I think in the end it was America and Russia who faced off against each other, but you were either in the finals or you weren't, and it was for the throat the entire time.
Well, I mean, if it's the World Cup, you disconnect, you die. That's
Yeah,
simple
honestly.
and straight up as. However, I don't think there's going to be anything more notorious pretty soon than that disconnect that we saw in the Overwatch League, where it was poor Anko, I do believe, who had the 45-minute pause because his game malfunctioned.
Imagine you're a pro player. You like spend all your time and money on this game, and the 40. Dude, I would be so pissed at like my internet provider. My ISP would get called so fast.
Well, it wasn't the internet provider, it was the game itself, actually, because he was playing the Overwatch League!
Oh! This man...
It was an actual Overwatch
arena.
League. It was an actual Overwatch League match, and it was the Dallas Fuel, and they'd already lost. It was the last map of the day. They were on Havana. It was the last minute into the game, and they had a disconnect.
Imagine being the last minute into the game, and then you have to wait 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It was rough and brutal, and I do believe that they restarted the match, and I think they still lost Havana. So that is it feels bad. Even worse was that the Dallas Fuel had actually brought in a Mickey. So that was a big unlucky Mickey who doesn't really get to see much play. However, we're not going to be casting the Fuel, unfortunately, as much as I would love to say it, but we're not quite into the big bucks there. Bite me. It will be the Star Esports Overwatch All-Star Trial, and I'm looking forward to this. It's week 7. Both of these teams they've played this before. They know the way it goes. They have some experience on the map, so I'm sure they've got plans.
They know what's going to be going on. So while we're here, you told me earlier that this was it's a 2-2-2 gentleman's agreement. But do you think that these two teams are gonna do you think they're gonna be like, yeah, no, we'll follow it, yeah, we'll follow it. Hey, can we get like 3 tanks, please? Maybe some goats real quick.
Well, you were talking to me before about how you wanted to see, was it the 6 supports?
Dude, 6 supports, or you're throwing. Okay, maybe 5 supports in Symmetra. I can support that. But like, it has to be at least 6 supports.
Just like 5 supports, 1 Symmetra, pocket the hell out of her. She would carry. We know what the Symmetra is like at the moment.
5 Anas, 1 Zarya is what I want.
Well, unfortunately, we're not in the Mystery Heroes or the first year of Overwatch, so it will be 1 Ana on the field at a time. But I don't know. I think if you have a Reinhardt and you have 5 supports, he's gonna be in heaven, surely.
Oh yeah, man. That man's gonna have a nice time.
Or you can field the 5 supports and the Genji and still get the I need healing voice line spammed over and over and over if experience is anything to go by.
Dude, I played against a Genji one time and I could hear him saying I need healing. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not even on your team.
That's well, they are trickling in slowly but surely, so there will be no forfeit today just by the skin of their teeth managing to make it, I do believe. Team Cancer. So once again, I would give quite a bit of an advantage to Prospect 3000 because, I mean, if you only just get in, you can imagine they've not really had that chance to just manage to get out of the training range. They probably haven't come straight out of the scrim, so they're gonna need to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's definitely what these two teams need to do, honestly. But they're only halfway there. They only have 3 players. Those other 3 players still need to show.
Time zones are fickle things. That's why you always check your ESTs and your BSTs.
Though I do tend to see that Overwatch runs a lot more on EST than anything else.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think I've ever met a server that doesn't run on it.
It's an inconvenience being European, so you kind of just have to temper your sleep schedule around America, to be honest.
Dude, when you want to cast the Korean Contenders games, right, what you gotta do is you just gotta screw over your sleep schedule. That's just how it be. Sorry, broadcast.gg, but it's just how it be.
Yeah, the players, they have the jobs of hitting the foreheads and the heads Us casters, we have to make sure that we keep our alarms on time.
Oh, that would be. Oh, imagine playing. I think I've heard of a few players that have actually moved to Korea to try to make their play better.
Well, I've heard a couple of Korean accounts are going down, actually. Blizzard catching that one at something like 1,900 Korean accounts shut down over account sharing. Oofed.
I don't really see the problem with account sharing. As long as you're not boosting as long as it's like for quick play, right? I don't really. And then, like, what are they gonna do? Like, if you use a what are they called? The internet cafes? Like, are they banning all the internet cafe accounts?
I'm not sure, actually. Oh, internet cafes. I haven't been to one of those in ages. You're making me nostalgic. Back when people used to interact actually outside of their PCs. Wow, what a time.
Oh, it's just, don't remind me of that time. I don't want to go back.
Back to a time where you couldn't have all of this wireless internet.
Dude, back to the time when I had to cast in person, dog. Ooh, don't remind me.
Standing behind a camera trying not to look awkward.
Hi guys, hope you guys don't notice like my I didn't shave today, or like, my buttons are done wrong. I'm just trying to be here to be here.
Yeah, and then you have to like worry about your wardrobe and hair, and no, too much hassle. So much easier to just kind of get to a PC and sit down behind a desk chair, a nice comfy desk chair with about 5 different bundles of blankets.
Okay. So, Moxie, we've been talking for about 10 minutes, and I think I need to ask the question. Who do you main? Who do you main?
I'm an Ana main. I'm a support. I flex on all of the supports. I can't touch DPS. Overwatch was my first person shooter.
Wow. Nice.
So
well, don't look at my career profile because you'll be disappointed. But I am a rehabilitated main who now is an Ana player.
Okay, well that is acceptable. You've seen the light.
No, I've seen the light, but I want to go back.
Oh no. I take back all of which I just said. You were the absolute worst.
Dude, May is so good. May is so, dude, those walls. You get the juicy walls, it's over. Don't even think about doing anything because the walls are just so good. Then you can get into a May wall. If your team is coordinated, May is unstoppable.
Yeah, if your team is coordinated, I'm gonna say now, 95% of Overwatch's player base have been screwed over at one point or another by a May wall.
Just because 95% of my walls disrupt my own team's ult doesn't mean I'm a bad May player.
I'm sure that's what every May main tells themselves before they go to bed. I'm not a bad person, it's their fault for getting in my way.
Exactly.
No, see, I just get to rage at my teammates for not peeling, and that's why I was Ana. Then I was Moira for a little bit. Then I enjoyed some nice little transition to Zen, and now I've kind of latched onto Batiste because there is nothing more satisfying. I don't care what you say about good Maywalls, about screwing someone over with a frisbee disc.
Dude, the big lamp.
Oh, the lamps! If you can manage to get that little the skill slot shot where you walk out of spawn and you just look up and frisbee that little disc and bounce it off the corner just right, and it goes onto the point and saves all of your team from this massive fat Pharah barrage, you feel so good with yourself.
So actually, while you brought up BAP, why don't we talk about the competitive viability of BAP? Because BAP is actually a really nice support when it comes to bunker. But even then, you have something like Lucio's Break It Down. You have something like Ana's Nano. BAP really doesn't have any survivability as a support.
Well, he has one. But the thing is, you only use that one in the most dire of circumstances because it has such a punishing cooldown. You see BAPs really fail if they use that immortality field, if they use that lamp, or a disco ball that I've heard a couple of people refer to it as. If you use that to save your own skin, or if you use it towards the beginning of a fight too early, you see enemy teams now sending people in to harass the BAP, similar to how you see them harass Zenyatta, who has Transcendence, because you know that field is probably going to be up if you haven't seen it come out in the last 20 seconds.
Definitely, I think it's a really nice way. But like, you also have to, I think Lamp, well, it actually has like a very nice survivability. You know, it is definitely like that's like the one survivability that he has. Unlike Break It Down, unlike Nano, I mean, I just Break It Down unless you have like a Sombra who's ready to EMP at the time, and unlike Transcendence, you can like focus fire the Lamp down actually pretty quickly.
You can, but you're starting to see teams adapt to this as well. There have been a couple of matches where Orysas have actually made sure that their shields have covered over this kind of protective dome casing on
Wait.
the BAP lamps.
Wait,
And what
Orisa
teams
actually
have
have
had.
brains?
Yeah, Orysas actually have brains! I feel like you just threw so much shade at every single tank main at the moment because Orisa, I think you don't like it so much, judging from how you're talking about the robot guy. She's meta now, and you have to accept that.
Oh, wow. This is news to me.
News to you, I doubt that. They released the list of the 5 most used tanks in Overwatch for the last month, Sigma not being on it, seeing as he hasn't actually been out live for the full month. But both Orisa and Roadhog were number 1 and number 2.
Dude, the Yoink and Oink is just so good. It's just too much.
Yeah, well, Yoink and Oink have brains as well.
You don't need Oink. You don't need brains to do the Yoink and Oink. All you need to do is have timing. If you can play an instrument, you can do the Yoink and Oink.
I mean, some would argue that you need brains to be able to play an instrument. You need brains to make your muscles work and your fingers fly over the strings, so...
Stop proving me wrong.
Logic! Your point is moot.
Anyway, it seems like all of Team Cancer is here. Whether it took them 5 days or 5 years, it doesn't matter, because they're ready to kick some of that prospect booty out of their town.
Yes, well, it's gonna be interesting seeing. There's gonna definitely be a feels bad if they end up getting rolled 4-0 after scrambling to catch up and get in. It will be Lijiang Tower that we're heading to. It feels like an eternity has passed since we first announced that, but out of the Lijiang Tower free maps, which ones are you hoping to see, Bite Me?
I just want to see Garden. I just want to see Garden. That's all I want to see. Actually, I'll prick. Garden will be first map. It's gonna. I'm calling it right now.
You're predicting right. Well, I'm gonna go against that, and I'm gonna roll the dice, and I'm gonna say that it's gonna be Night Market, and both of us are gonna be absolutely wrong.
watch as both of us are absolutely wrong.
Well, we'll be waiting to see which one of us is gonna be a... Well, how are we gonna settle this then? What's on the line?
What's on the line? Our respect and dignity as casters.
Well, okay. I was gonna say that maybe we turn it around and say that if whoever gets it wrong has to play the other person's main for a day, but
No,
sure.
no, I do that. I would do that. Yeah, let's go. I play Ana.
Okay.
It doesn't even matter. I play Ana and May. We can do this any day.
Well, if I indeed lose, I will play May for a day, and I will take screenshots of my May time going up, because I think it's at a measly 1 hour at the moment, and I will send it on over to you. Well, we're gonna be waiting to see what exactly it's gonna be.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Oh, well, those screenshots will be coming pretty quickly tomorrow, and
Can
it
we
will...
get an F in the chat for Moxie?
F in the chat for Moxie's respect. My career profile is gonna be abysmal after this.
Oopsie. Anyway, so why don't you tell us what you think that we're going to be seeing from, because you're familiar with these two teams. What do you think that we're going to be seeing from these two teams?
Well, Gardens, not Night Market. I wish it was Night Market, then I wouldn't be playing May. Gardens is one of those maps where you can play pretty much anything. That's why everybody loves Lijiang. You can play so much stuff. You can play dive. You can play the Hammond as the dive. You can play traditional dive with the D.Va and the Winston. You can bunker up. You can go Reinhardt Zarya. You can play pretty much any DPS, and we will actually be seeing some pharmacy. Oh, be still my beating heart.
Oh, we have mini goats though. We have mini goats.
You have coats. You have coats is what it's called. This is the official name for it. This is the May Reaper Orisa Roadhog composition that has replaced this free composition.
Both teams running mirror supports, although the DPS are a little bit different. Upset Spaghetti. So what do you think about that Widow choice?
It's going to be hard because you're playing Widow into Bunker. You're playing Widow into an Orisa shield. And that is going to get annoying. However, you do have Cube Zapper to try and take some of the focus off this Widow away. Going to be trying to irritate the supports on that Genji.
As the first fight begins, we do see that Prospect is the first one to make it. They are going to try to mini-goats themselves into it. Maywell goes off, but it's not going to be anything as we do see Pug in the back doing some damage, taking down Winston, looking for D.Va, taking down the mech, and now the rest of the DPS are just going to fall off. Once Pug got in there, that fight was already over.
Oh, it's a Reaper! The shotguns, they do so much damage. He's still going, and look at the ult charge on this Reaper. Already almost 60% to the first Death Blossom. Sobat has been putting down so much healing, the Coalescence already online. And if you look on the other side, we're seeing swaps coming across the board. This is Prospect 3000 admitting defeat. They're going to field a Reaper of their own.
Yeah, it's too difficult. And you saw that last fight, the Reaper came in, and it was over. Like, they sort of ignored Pug. They're like, we can ignore a lot like we would ignore Pharah. It just didn't work out for them. Watching this Genji come in, watching Cube Zapper do a lot of work with that dash right there, it's actually really good. This makes him play a little bit aggressive. Gonna get caught up on the field, but Swifty's gonna get a huge boot up from the both. He's gonna get another boot. What's happening?
This is environmental kills across the board! Oh my god, Swifty! He got the free people boop! He would have picked up the Genji, but Cubes is actually able to just jump his way, nimble ninja, up that wall and back into safety. He does have Blade, but who are you gonna Blade, especially when Swifty is ready to drop that beat?
Honestly, I can't get over the fact that he got like 3 environmental kills and then the Ursa got the rest, but we are going to be seeing Prospect come in from the left side this time. They're hoping just to get on. They're running this sort of counter goats. They're running upset just to try to get some background damage, but they're just not getting it right now. They're in a small place. Colossus has come out. The grab comes out. The dragons come out from Cube, but it doesn't matter as Reaper gets booped off. Swifty doing so much damage with his environmentals right now, and this fight's already over. We see the aggressive play. We see the Maywell come up, and this straight up is cancer, showing that themselves that even though that they are a little bit out of it, they can still wreck.
Oh, wreck, they most certainly can. This is looking grim for Prospect 3000. They tried to go with the Genji Blade to open things up, but not having the Ana, not having the Nano means that Genji is so vulnerable, and he just gets immediately shot down as soon as he goes in, and this is last fight territory for Prospect 3000. They have to win this next fight.
And look, this upsets, he's on point, but when he's not on point, he's not there for the fight, allowing Tenzin to get 2 picks, Swifty to get his 5th environmental kill for this match, and Pugsy to end it. This doesn't matter if you have upset, if you have a Zenyatta, it's already over. Cancer has won this map.
If you know that there's a Lucio and a Narissa who can land their boops, who can land their halts, you never go across the bridge unless you have a D.Va ready to eat those. Never! That's the rule number 1 of Lijiang Gardens!
It's rule. They ignored one of the 10 commandments of Overwatch, and they got punished for it. And that's why you have to respect other players. You have to respect Swifty. You have to respect Kedzin. That's what it's fundamental. You have to.
You do indeed. There wasn't really any trying to stop the halts either. There was no Maywall coming out in the defense to try and cancel it out. They just walked across the bridge, didn't wait for the cooldowns, didn't look to see if the cooldown had even happened, and they paid for that one dearly.
Honestly, this is something that I really talk about, but you have to, once you notice a player is doing something, you have to start respecting them. Just like when a Widow gets a pick off on you, you have to start respecting that Widow, even if it's just once. You can't get picked off again. And there it is, Spark getting a headshot off onto Bat, and that's one of your main healers down. You only have Lucio. Lucio doesn't support that much healing. Yes, of course, Lucio does do a lot of healing, but Bat has so much more. As we do see Prospect, they're on the point. They're defending it really well, but this mini goat is showing its feathers right now, and it's showing that its feathers are really colorful. Going for the yoink on oink, but missing. Your halt might be good, but you also need to have the hook needs to be really good as well to continue going on. Watch as Cube Zapper's in the back, but Soba is going to be focusing Cube Zapper down. Cube Zapper only able to get really off 1 pick right now as the fight sort of, that's what I like to call a teeter-totter fight. Cube Zapper is going to get dragged in the first few minutes of the map, and it's going to allow Prospect to hold this point and then capture it. Hopefully, unless it's just going to teeter-totter off. How do you think this fight's going to sort of end up to be with this, wow, what a stunning display of events.
This is most definitely one for the books. If you look, the point hasn't actually even flipped to either team. Only now is that actually going to get captured by either one of these, and already so many ultimates online. That first fight so overdrawn. So many people going down that you've actually got team cancel with a whole lot of ultimates to try and defend this point. This is when you just decide which one you throw in first, and if you're a prospect, you're trying to go in and get all of these out at once.
Look how aggressive this Reaper's playing. Reaper hops in. The tanks get walled off as well as Bat, but he keeps on going in. The DPS follows through, but it's just not enough. You know, the Bat Bolt came off, right? But Spark walled it off. It doesn't matter. These tanks are fish out of water. They popped bongos too for whatever reason, and this is just to show how badly this fight is going for Prospect.
That was the panic bongos right there. You see it happen so many times. There is to put on the superchargers, hoping that the team will back out because you don't want to engage another sort of a supercharger. But they don't care. Cancer just moved straight back on, and they're just back onto the point already.
And so we're talking about, you said don't pop the lamp off early in the map, or else this is exactly what's going to happen. The kills are coming out, yes, but actually, they won because they popped so many ults. That was actually a really big misplay.
Who needs ultimate economy? Prospect 3000, they're only just managing to get first couple of ticks. However, they used pretty much everything that they had in their arsenal. Cube Zapper does gonna have this blade coming up, and you do see the Lucio coming up to this sign barrier. But we've seen the Genji try to blade before. Again, there's no Ana on the field, no Nano available. This Genji, as soon as he pops that blade, he's gonna be target priority #1 for the Council.
Yeah, nice throwing an oink though. Swifty's gonna take it out. The lamp's gone off. Cube Zappers pop ult when they have the advantage. They're so close to spawn. That's just a huge misplay. You've already lost the fight, and with 2 picks coming off on the side of Cancer, those tanks have to back up, but the May's gonna be freezing. The Blizzard's gonna come out. That's gonna be two tanks, 1 support, and that's gonna be map. You can't defend that.
You popped sign barrier as well. Why on earth would you put the sign barrier in knowing that it's just you and only a handful of players left? What you do is you save that one, you keep it in the back pocket so you can pull it out the next fight and go aggressively. That's an ultimate they're not gonna have, and I have a feeling they want that one sorely back.
Yeah, they do. This is not gonna look. Oh, and I pick off on the Cube Zapper again. Cube Zapper switched off on to Junkrat, but it's not May. You need a May in this situation.
You need either a Mei or you need a Diva. You need to eat the halts or you need to wall.
Look at that. The wall comes out, the hook comes out, the wall and the hook. Cube Zapper getting out Soba, and the fight's gonna continue in with the bongo's coming out. Cube Zapper's gonna get another pick out, and it's not looking good for Cancer right now. As he's getting another pick off. Upset Spaghetti coming in as well, and that is gonna be a point. Prospect able to show their colors, but it's 95%.
Oh, you want to talk about badly timed sign barriers? There is one. That's actually a Team Cancer taking that one. Swifty is trying to prolong that point for as long as he can. Peanut really annoying Lucy. He's going to escape. They don't punish him.
No punishing allowed apparently as this wall. These Orisas are playing really good. Kedzin's playing really aggressive. The walls and freezes are coming out. Spark maybe is optimal. Tire comes in from the backline, picks off both supports, and that's fight. Like Cancer knows not to overstay their welcome.
They do. They seem to know when to get out, which is a problem that Prospect 3000 just seem to not really have worked out. The tire comes out and it does manage to buy them a couple of times. It is going into that last fight territory. Upset Spaghetti is waiting on this high ground looking for a Death Blossom drop down.
Ooh.
Cheeky Reaper, he's actually going to try and go behind.
Yeah, we see the wall come out. Cuts off his team, right? The wall doesn't come down, so Sparks is doing a little bit of misplay. Upset Spaghetti comes up behind, but it's gonna get frozen in the middle of this Death Blossom. No one cares though, because no one's gonna take him out other than Pub, who's gonna get in there last second. 2 picks on both sides, 99%. It's overtime. You have to go in. Watch as Pug needs to carry this map right now, but they're gonna get. Oh, Cactus gonna get him right now, and this all falls down. They need to get this Roadhog up right now, but they're not gonna be able to do it. 99%, and the map's still going. The lamp's down. No one's gonna try to take it down at all, and that's gonna be a point. Swifty cannot hold it by himself.
No, especially not with that tire coming out. Gets the Moira. That will beat Prospect 3000 by the skin of their teeth, I would say. Taking that map over Team Cancer, and that was close.
So why was Prospect able to win that map, but they got absolutely steamrolled first map?
Well, there's no environmental kills. That's the big difference, I would say. They're able to approach this point, and they can come either from the side or they can go through the main door. They don't get booped off by the Lucio. They don't get pulted off by the Orisa. So they don't lose people just going into the fight. So they can go in on an even footing, 6 versus 6 instead of 5 versus 6 or 4 versus 6. However, there's still these tiny little mistakes that Prospect 3000 are making. The Reaper Upset Spaghetti. He goes into that for that Death Blossom. He wraiths in. And another golden rule of Overwatch when playing Reaper, never wraith walk in.
That's how it be sometimes. They're gonna try to start this off in server rooms. Reinhardt's gonna be on the side of Prospect this time. They're running the Ryan Zarya. So, good idea for Prospect. They're running something that they're probably familiar with, but you have to watch out for these Zoink and Oinks. That's something that you have to play. You have to respect this Orisa and this Roadhog. Even if they can't hit them, the fact that you could get hit is too much damage to even think about dealing with. Sparks gonna take down Cube Zapper on the first time. It's a 5v6 right now. Upset's gonna get frozen. Luckily, the Zarya's gonna be there to save his Tookus, but Sparks looking for a wall. He's gonna get it onto Scar as well. That's too much. As we do see the Reinhardt fall down, the fight's gonna continue. They're gonna try to escape. Wall comes out. Doesn't get anyone too good though, and that is going to be the first fight.
But this is bad news for Prospect Free Fires, and the way that this May composition works is you wait, you win that first team fight, then you set up shop here really aggressively outside the spawn, and then you wall as soon as one comes through. The Ryan seems like he's towing. He's kind of tiptoeing around this, doesn't want to commit because he knows as soon as he walks through, if he's alone, he's going to be walled and separated.
There comes Reinhardt and Zarya. It's absolutely. You want both tanks, but the Reaper is gonna try to just destroy the wall. Fights and continue. Both teams pop their sound barrier as the Blizzard comes out. There's nothing that they can do. That's second fight down 50%.
That is indeed 50% almost on that board, and now if you're Team Cancer, you can choose. You put in the Blizzard, next time you put in the Superchargers, that wins you a fight, next time you put in the Death Blossom, that wins you another. Cube Zapper is coming up to a tower, we've seen it have an impact before. If he can get either support, the Rhino on his own!
The hook is too good!
The tower comes in anyway.
It doesn't get anyone! Why would you pop the tire right more? Really big panic when you don't even have the Reinhardt. Even if you did get a pick, you couldn't capitalize off it. You'd only be able to even it up. Reinhardt comes back. Yes, again. You have to respect the halts. You have to respect the hooks. Luckily enough, Ryan's gonna be in a perfect position to do a fat shatter, bringing down the damage. But Ixima's gonna live through it. You can't do it. There it is. You called it. You knew that the Death Blossom wasn't gonna come in, but you didn't respect it. 90%.
I would say you save that shadow, or you see Sober pop Coalescence. The shadow doesn't get him, so Coalescence continues. This is last fight. This isn't even last fight. This is last seconds. They're not going to be able to get through this door.
And that's the first round. This series is looking up to Team Cancer, even though that they were in such an iffy position, being rushed into it. This series is setting up looking really good for Cancer.
Well, this is going to be the environmental kill, I'm sure,
This
from
is so
Swifty
good.
on
Watch
this
this.
bridge.
Oh, he gets
Awful.
Oh, it's
Look at
disgusting.
them go.
It's he goes for another one.
Yep.
Oh,
There he goes. They are dominoes falling before the might of the Lucio. This is why you never go across that bridge. You never go across that bridge if there's a Lucio just perched, because you know he's behind a wall somewhere. He's going to be waiting to get that boob.
That's what they're gonna vote for him, because I mean you have to vote for when he gets that many environmental kills.
I mean, I would vote for him. I would vote for him easily as the MVP so far. You managed to get the environmental kills. You're keeping your teammates alive. Yes, there's been a couple of panic sound barriers, but there's also been a couple of panic barriers on the other team as well.
That's just how it be sometimes. As the next map is gonna be Hanamura, and I think we're gonna see Team Cancer run that May again. What do you think?
I think so. I think what basically kind of threw a wrench in the plans of Team Cancel was when Prospect 3000 ran the Batiste.
Yeah.
That was the difference that we saw coming out on Night Market, and it was Night Market that Prospect 3000 took.
But even then, it was with such a small margin, like 98.
Yeah, it was, I believe, 96 to 100 was what that score was, and it was close. Like if the last fight, if the picks hadn't been in favor of Prospect 3000, that would easily have swayed to Team Cancer.
And Team Cancer is going to get defense on this. You can tell that Spark is going to be playing May for this map.
Oh, most definitely. May on Hanamura defense, so strong. That choke. That is notorious to get through those double doors. I like to call them the double doors of death, because if you were a tank, you put your shield up and you pray that your team are behind you. Either that, or we might see some Bastion. This is a kind of composition that's slowly but surely starting to come to Overwatch. I say slowly but surely. It seems like it's happening a lot of times in my quick play games. Perhaps not my competitive, but you have the Bastion, you bunker up on that the middle ground, just in front of the point, or indeed if you think that they're going to Symmetra teleport on, you bunker up on point, and then you just mow them down as they come through the door.
Mm-hmm. So what you want to do then? You know, if they do run bunker, they're forced to run Mercy Bap. If they don't, then it's already a lost cause.
Most definitely. There's one thing that they can do, and that is grab a Sombra. The thing is that I'm not seeing that many teams take a Sombra up against a bunker, because I don't know why, but people seem to forget how impactful EMP can be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to talk ultimate economy, okay? You have a Sombra with EMP going into a team against who has all of their glowing circles lit up, the big six. The Sombra comes in, the EMP hits, gets the entire team. You have no other ultimates on your side, but the enemies, they can't use any of theirs, even if they've got them up and available. You just walk in and you kill them the normal way, the traditional way, with bullets and shooting better.
And in fact, if I don't see a Sombra on attack right, this is what I'm talking about. If I don't see a Sombra on attack right now, like, you need the Sombra on attack in any, you know, in any 2CP map, just so you can scout out what the enemy team has.
Oh, yes, definitely. The Sombra, like, you can get behind the back line, you can tell your team all of the positions, you can say, okay, the supports are here, one of them's alone, I'm going to jump them. You look at Swifty on this Mercy, right? Mercy can be really hard to pin down because she just hops from teammate to teammate if she's being challenged. You hack her, she can't hop. And Swifty already looking so cheeky on this Mercy, waiting to shoot a couple of bullet holes in them as they come out the door.
I wonder how many ult charges she's gonna get. She's gonna look for that big ult.
Not 2%.
Telly hasn't hit that many, but they're gone for Telly. Look at this. This is strategic Telly play right now that you can see. The Halt Hook comes out. Luckily enough, the shields are down, but upset Spaghetti and get taken out. That's absolutely huge. If you don't have the Telly, there's no point in running this comp. Like, you ran the Diva to stop the yoink and oink, but you still can't do it.
You still can't do it, and you still actually commit to the fight to the point where your Diva loses her mech. As soon as you see that Symmetra, not even the teleport fail, as soon as you see the Symmetra get hooked in, you accept, okay, she's gone, she's dead. They're not running the Batiste. They can't put the lamp down. They can't save the Sim.
And the yoink and oink comes out again. Luckily, this Ryan knows what he's doing. This Ryan knows how to play. We do see Telly come out. Ryan's already down. They're on point right now, but we do see Spark trying to get off some nice cheeky Hanzo kills. The Bastion's on point as well. It doesn't even matter. Like, this is already, again, a lost fight. Like, you need to, like, if this is anything, stop playing Symmetra. It's too late.
It is too late. Or you do this play that you see a couple of people actually do, where you have a Mei, you wall the Symmetra up onto that little window that you see the Widow sometimes stand on, then you get all of your team onto that high ground above the point and you drop down. It's a nice smart play that you can do. You never, if you know that the enemy are going to be standing right by those double doors where the teleporter needs to go down normally, you abandon that teleport strat. And it looks like they're not going to. But I mean, this is going to be painful.
This is what I mean about you have to respect your players, and they're going for this high ground strat. Again, like when a Sombra, when you do the Symmetra teleport, right? You want to have it simple. Point A to point B, not point A to point B to point C to point. That just doesn't work. The more convoluted the plan is, the less likely it's going to work as they push into this extremely small choke, basically playing into their hands, although it's come off. They're getting a few picks. Pug's gonna take it out. Swig's gonna get taken out as well. Those supports down. It seems like they're finally able to, this convoluted plan, able to take point with 1 minute, 40 seconds left.
It took them too long. Hanamura point B is so hard to take because the defender spawn is so close. You need all of the time you can in that bank when you try to approach that point, and they're really not gonna, well, they're gonna have the 4 minute 30, but it could be much bigger. And if you look across the board, you see Team Cancer, they have all of these ultimates. They have the dragons. They can put that in, they can split the entire team. They can basically direct them into whichever hallway they want to. And they can choose what's going to be behind door number 1. Is it going to be a Bastion? Is it going to be a Whole Hog? Is it going to be the Orisa?
Like, they had the chance to go straight to point, but they're going to try to take out inside this Bastion, Spark's actually getting taken out early in the game, as well as upset. This is actually pretty good on the side of Prospect, although them not playing too aggressive is sort of going to lead into how the rest of this fight's going to go. When you're Prospect right now, and you're playing such a weird way, like you're going in this way, you need to play extremely aggressive. With Cube coming down, the bomb's already going out. You really only got Pug right now. There's no point to continue this fight. Like, I don't understand what Steve was thinking.
Well, the team was thinking they'll have Cacti Knight try to just kind of be a little bit of a shadow, go main when they all go a different side, so that the bomb can get dropped in and maybe pick up a couple. It does go in, it gets the Bastion, but the Bastion's just gonna respawn. And the D.Va was split away from the team, which means no defense matrix, which leaves you so vulnerable. And now we're gonna see they're gonna wrap around, they're gonna try and take this high ground, and Team Cancer, they've read this like a book.
Yeah. They're running Widow. Reinhardt's already gone. Sparks are gonna pick, and honestly, I think that they're running Upset Spaghetti because they want to run past, right? But the beams are so, like, they've been nerfed to hell. Like, there's no reason they'd be running like a Symmetra just for the damage now.
You run Symmetra when it's double shield. That is the rule, because that Symmetra beam charges off shields. So what you want to do is you want to get the Sim nice and close to the Orisa, and get her to charge that beam all the way up by getting it off the Orisa shield. However, Cube Zapper does get Swifty, so that is res off the table for now. This is Prospect 3000 having a good chance. They do have that Sign Barrier to fall back onto if things get rough. However, if you look, Team Cancer, they have this Nano Hog.
Yep. Nano Hog comes out like they're definitely looking for it. Cube Zapper's already going to be down. Sparks going to get that pick off with Dragon, as well as the Giant Cleave that it has. It's just a little bit too big. They're going to try to fight this D.Va right now, but with Swifty getting a res off in the middle of that fight, such a dangerous territory. It's actually really huge. They are going to try to bring it in the ground beef, but there's no Nano to sort of go with it. It just isn't looking too good on the side of Prospect. They are trying to do something with Symmetra right now. Upset's going to get 2 picks, but going to get taken out by Pub, and that's going to be the end of the fight. Like, that was close, but not close enough.
Not close enough. Indeed, you have to roll them. The defenders, they're too close. You're too far away, and that is going to be, well, 1 tick given up. So if you're Prospect 3000, at least that's something to stick on the board. And they did manage to get both the whole Hog and the Nano out. You see Soba actually swapping first onto the Lucio and then thinks better of it and goes onto the Moira.
Yeah, the Lucio pick actually makes sort of sense right now. You know,
I would have preferred the Lucio, yes.
Yeah, the Lucio pick, it seems a little bit better. We do have Spark onto the McCree now, and I would rather have seen a Baptiste, I'm not even gonna lie, like, than this, but they are gonna try to, again, go for the Sombra comp, which I'm saying that this Symmetra comp is gonna work out. We see the damage are coming. Look how low Symmetra is right now. Gonna get taken off. Actually, instead, Rogue's going to ignore him, opting to go for this Reinhardt right now, going so low, Reinhardt down. So many people are falling down right now. Upset's going to be down, and they're going to pop Dragon, try to get that cleave off, but the cleave's not going to do anything when half your team's already dead, and this is going to be the end of the fight. It just doesn't seem like Prospect knows what, like, you can see that there's plans for Prospect, but it just doesn't feel like they know what they're doing.
There's a big problem that I'm seeing over and over and over again. And I don't know if you've noticed this, Bite Me, but Swifty is getting these reses off that they should not.
It's sort of insane, actually.
It really is. I've been looking at this Mercy and going straight into the enemy team. Nobody turns around, even though when you res as a Mercy, you're bright. You're not hard to spot. You light up like a goddamn Christmas tree. You're vulnerable. That's when you kill the Mercy, but they're not doing it. They're not jumping on the Moth, and the Moth is getting to res people back into the fight when they should be dead.
Again, going in. Roadhog's there. Hug is there. You have to respect these players. You can't go in the same way over and over again, expecting a different result this time. Going with the bomb, not going to get anyone like it normally does. And even though it finally seems like they're going to push through and get this point, you have to understand that Aegis and Hanamura, it's going to go on for way more longer than it's going to go on to. Hitting on to overtime now, it sort of seems like they have a chance of coming in for this Orisa coming in, with Hug coming in. It doesn't look like, and the Coalescence coming in as well. It just seems like it's going to be a little bit too hard, but there it is. Second point, 0%. That took them 7 minutes.
It took them so long. Hanamura, if you managed to get point B, I would say congratulations, you managed it, but there were times that Prospect 3000 should have won. There were little slip-ups, the tiny little mistakes, and then the really big ones, like letting the Mercy res, teleporting in the exact same way. There were a couple of nice plays. You did see the Symmetra wall come out to stop the McCree Deadeye towards the end of that last fight. That was nice. That was good. But they could have fought that so much better. They really could by me. And I'm feeling that we've seen Team Cancer aggressive before. I don't know. They might they might decide to do a flags.
That's how. Nah, that's not gonna. I'm gonna be honest. And this is how I stand on almost every single one of my games. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're on offense, whether you're on defense. If you're not playing aggressive, you're playing the game wrong.
Well, it will be interesting to see what exactly they're going to be playing the game with in the attack. I don't know, Swifty on the Mercy. It looks like they're going for a traditional dive, although not so traditional if you look at this hamster pick, and Soba on the new Brigitte. Brigitte just having come out of a sort of a rework, not really being that aggressive off tank that she used to be, and now much more of a main support.
Honestly, like, you wouldn't want to have Brigitte any other way. Brigitte sort of ruined the game.
Oh, are you one of the delete break enthusiasts?
I'm not even. You know what? I used to be, but they seem like they got Brig into shape.
Well, Swifty is going to be thought about it. Actually, not going to. It will be the Moira Soba on the Mercy, and it's straight to point. It seems.
Yeah, balling on the point, creating space for his team, distracting the enemy team, which is actually what he really wanted. Actually, really smart play. We do see the plays continue. Izuma's going to be taken off of his sweet little mech right there. He's not looking up for cancer right now. We do see Soba going for a res, but finally upset Spaghetti. They're like, you know what? I'm not letting this happen anymore. Getting the pick off, and the fight's gonna go on. So upset Spaghetti's gonna be actually carrying this fight and ending it.
What basically Team Cancer did just that was that in a perfect world, this push works. In a perfect world, you get to go onto the point, you get to occupy it, you manage to find the picks off onto your side, and you take it. What happens in reality is you roll onto that point, you roll into 6 enemy people who are all looking for your head mounted on a spike, and you go back to your respawn point the hard way. Well, it will be a little bit of a different approach, see, they're being a little bit more careful, less cocky this time.
Soba's taken out as well. I think this is a testament to Soba's aggressive nature, and finally it seems like Prospect is saying, like, you know what? No, Soba, you're not allowed to do that anymore. And Soba's now getting a taste in, you know, the mouth of a Mercy main about, you know, that you can't play aggressive, and when you figure out that you're not allowed to play aggressive anymore, the play style changes from point A to point B extremely quickly as they're going to try to continue this fight, even though that it's pretty obvious that Team Cancer's already lost this, taking down Upset. But I mean, like, the fight right now is teeter-tottering. You know, it's going back and forth. This is anyone's, you know, map right now because it's so far from both players' spawns. You just don't know how it's gonna go with a huge boop. Oh my God! Absolutely huge boop from Kedzen right there, winning him that map. Actually, that's too big. They are gonna try to Mei it right now, but Mei doesn't have enough support on her right now. Yeah, it was sort of wasted all too, but that is going to be point. Absolutely huge.
Respect the environment. That is the #1 rule of every single one of the map. It doesn't matter about, yes, you should respect the enemy team, but you need to respect the map layout as well. If you know that there is a Hammond out, if you know that that Hammond is rolling around, then most definitely respect the enemy team. And oh, my game just decided to close.
You sort of have to sit here and wonder, like, you know, how many environmental kills has Cancer gotten? The fight's gonna continue anyways. Going to point 2. Colossus comes out. Spark's gonna get picked off on the Sika, and this map is not looking good at all. If you're on the side of Prospect, Izuma's playing really aggressive. He's going for the Roadhog, and the Roadhog isn't thinking about doing anything right now. Spark playing in the backline, playing really aggressive, taking down the DPS, taking down the support. Pugset's gonna continue it off, taking down some of the tanks as the fights continue. We do see Head and Stabnik come off from Mercy. Bongos come off as well as the Dragon comes off, trying to clean, but Bomb's there, ready to do some damage. Defense is doing a really good job.
They most definitely are. And in answer to your previous question, Kesden, I believe, has about, after that Hammond boop, which got free, 5 environmental kills to his belt.
Absolutely huge. And after such a huge push, they weren't even able to get a single tick.
No, they weren't. That is painful. But at Prospect 3000, they're breathing a big sigh of relief.
That's what I would be doing right now, but Cube Zapper, 86% ult. I think the ult advantage definitely goes to Prospect in this fight.
It is, and if you look, they're the ones who have these defensive support abilities. Swifty on the Moira Coalescence is not going to keep your team alive through a blizzard, especially if you get frozen up in it yourself. This is when you want the Batiste, when you want the Zen, when you want a Lucio, but Spark gets the headshot onto Upset Spaghetti, and that will be a Prospect 3000 kind of a little bit man down.
Yeah, that's the cold lesson comes out. Luckily, the Whippy's saying like, no, I'm getting this. Pug's out gonna get pick off on a Cacti Knight, and now you have to start respecting these snipers. Spark and Pugsy are both looking for some picks off right now. Rooster trying to stop him with the shield, but the damage is still a little bit too much. As Sparks did take down by upset, finally allowing them to have a little bit more breathing room. But you have to watch out for the Hammond. The Hammond's doing a little bit of damage right now. You have to watch for the tanks, and the tanks aren't there. And the DPS are going to be there. Either Isabel getting a pick off on the upset spaghetti, saying like, no, you're not allowed to get any more picks anymore. They are going to try to lamp right now, but the lamp damage isn't coming off right now. As it gets taken down, the lamp gets turned off. The flies are no longer there. We do see Breezes come out. Everything around the bush is getting pulled out from Prospect right now. They want to try to push this. They want to try to live. 2 minutes left, and they're giving Cancer a run for their money right now.
They are, and finally, the Mercy is punished for these risky reses. They're just hemmed up in a corner at the moment, trying to hold on for as long as they can.
Another lamp comes out, and the fight still continues. They're saying that they might be able to do this, popping the Coalescence. They're confident. They're saying that they can win this fight. They're popping ults, but with upset Spaghetti getting 2 picks, I'm thinking that their ults are going to start being a little bit more and more upset as they now have to retreat.
They do. They put in so many ults to that fight as well. Kessen is gonna have mines, and mines can be huge on these points because you roll in, you try and get as high as you possibly can, and then you drop them all over the point. And they are so annoying to clear if you don't have... Well, Sigma isn't in the game at the moment, so you can't do that neat little shield trick where you just kind of swoosh your shield all the way through and instantly ult cancelled. Arista shields, they don't work like that.
Yeah, and at this point, they're hoping to go on high ground. You have to think that Cancer, they're sweating. They're sweating.
They are, but they find Prospect 3000 out, actually, so, you know, they're a little bit more confident than they would have been.
Yeah, definitely. They're going for upset Spaghetti in the first fight, which actually is absolutely huge. Pugs that's going to pick them up. And now you have to get more picks, though. 1 pick, it's not enough. And trading isn't enough at all. Trading is a huge disadvantage regarding to see people play aggressive. Going for the Baptiste. Sparks going to get able to pick off. You have to watch those walls. You have to put them up nice and carefully. Although Sub isn't even picking off. We do see that. Oh, the bomb comes out. It gets SB. Well, people coming in, but the Dragon Cleave's coming in as well. Pug and Spark are doing so much damage right now, but with only snipers, you have to sort of snipe around them 30 seconds. So that's 1 tick. That's 2 ticks coming in, and now you have to keep on going. You know, the team, no matter what happens, it's either a win or you get another push. It's not to the point where it's too far gone. It's not. It's going to be 0-0 for both teams if Cancer can take this. And the way it's going, it's looking like the defense is definitely possible. Coming up with a weird lamp right there. Sparks and Zasai taking out instead of doing some damage. No one's going for anything right now. Upset getting a D-Mech and 2 picks off. It's not looking too good. I'm honest. If I'm being honest right now, Cancer is having a hard time. This Orisa shield is doing so much work right now. It is carrying the team, this Orisa. They're trying. They're definitely trying, but with Hammond slowly getting picked off swing by swing, the spin to win comp isn't working. And this is going to be Prospect's win. There's nothing about it. This is going to be Prospect's first win of the series.
That it is. Basically, Hanama point B, there's hardly anything as a Hammond that you can really swing from. Hammond needs pillars, he needs the high walls, and if you're just on a flat surface, then you don't really have anything to roll around to try and stay alive. You can't stall out points for as long as you could, say, around that bell, which is exactly what he's going to do! Round and round the hamster goes, and bye, the 3 people fall.
It's a little bit too. I'm like, as much as I hate the spin to win, as much as I hate that spin to win, it is disgusting. I absolutely hate it. You know, you have to be like, it sort of does work every once in a while. But if you were a pro player, I don't think that you'd be playing Hammond in that situation. If you were, I think you would be making a little bit more space. But this is definitely absolutely huge spin to win comp success.
Most definitely. Well, you have to wonder if the Hammond was that impactful. Why was a Sombra never on the field? Sombra is, by far, one of the biggest counters to a Hammond, because if you hack him, he is useless. He waddles around, he can't even roll away, and he's not a sitting duck, he's a sitting hamster.
It's like hacking Soldier. Like, you hack Soldier and he just forgets how to run.
Yeah, he forgets how to use his legs, apparently. I still don't know how Sombra's hack works. Like, how is it that you can hack Zenyatta, but you can't hack Symmetra from using her beam?
It's actually the pithing needle from Magic.
Everything. A wizard did it. That's what Overwatch's descriptions is for everything.
Sombra's actually a graduate of Hogwarts. So let's get on it.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, she can disappear, so that's invisibility cloak. Let's add that to her arsenal. She can teleport, so that's what portkey. she has a portkey in her pocket. I'm racking my brains on Harry Potter lore now. It's been quite a while since I've read the books or seen the films after the travesty that was the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Was not a fan of that one. I don't know about you, Bite Me, but that one kind of ruined the magic for me.
I mean, the first movie was pretty good. You have to admit.
Yeah, the second one?
I heard too many bad things about it.
Yeah, well, I can say now that you saved yourself. However, we'll be heading to Junkertown. No saving ourselves from radiation poisoning.
Dude, sailboat. We need pirate ship. Pirate ship needs to happen.
So you're hoping for a pirate ship. You're gunning for a pirate ship.
Gunning. It has to happen. If it doesn't, I'm changing my winning prediction.
You're changing your winning prediction?
Yes.
Well, that's definitely going to be an interesting swing of decisions and opinion there. I think pirate ship is probably going to happen. We've seen the Bastion come out on the Hanamura. Junkertown is kind of the home of the pirate ship, where it initially set sail.
Imagine not pirate ship. Now imagine.
Oh. Yeah, we
imagine
might
how
be seeing
boring.
it.
Imagine how boring this game would be if no one pirate ship. They'd just be like, oh yeah,
See, do you not remember the bygone days where you would see the Widow and the Hanzo, the double sniper meta, coming out of that top spawn door in Junkertown?
Double, like, I think, maybe, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I ever did, even though I definitely remember playing Hanzo on Junkertown.
So you're not just a reformed Mei main. You're also a Shimada fan.
I dabble.
You dabbled in the DPS, apparently.
I dabble in the DPS. You know, I dabble in the devil's I mean, just dabble around in the devil.
Well, what are you thinking of this actually quite aggressive defensive positioning coming out? I don't know. This could either work really well and they hold them at the spawn doors, or they get absolutely rolled and so much free push is achieved.
You see this a lot when you're playing Bastion. And it seems like Pug sets in a call list, staying up behind the bat. Like, that's actually a really good call on the shield. Pug's gonna see down to upset Spaghetti, and the fight's basically already over at this point. The Reaper's down. The Immortality shield's also, like, not falling down, apparently, because you can't aim against the lamp. Apparently, Cube Zapper's gonna fall down. Cube Zapper actually gonna take out Spark right now, and even though it's gonna continue, like, the Res is gonna come out. You can't take out this Bastion, because he's in a super weird area, but you're not respecting them either. I mean, look at this. They're just getting halt hooked in, like, the line of sight of Bastion is absolutely huge right now. No one's contesting them all. Up the player is gonna come in, try to do some actual damage this time, but even though this is, yeah, but no one's there to take up on it unless you Cube Zapper, pulling in some actually really nice grenades. The hold up spawn's happening, right? But it's because Pug's not playing too very aggressive. Like right here where he moved, like you see how they're finally getting the push is actually starting to get some momentum. You basically need to watch Pug. Pug needs to get his point up together, and they need to watch out. They can't play too aggressive, but they have to also play aggressive.
Well, Swifty is most definitely playing aggressive, gets the enemy Lucio out of the fight, returning to spawn. Battle Mercy definitely been watching his Neptuno. And it's going to be this pirate ship setting sail properly now. The Bastion mounted behind that Ursa shield, nice and safe. This is going to be a hard one to break across, especially when Soba has that bomb waiting on the trigger.
Look how scared look how scared Prospect. It's Tonka time onside of Pug, and Pug is bringing down the big damage. Oh, it's that up to today though. Gonna end construction time right now, but Cancer's like, no, we're continuing this with the demolition derby right now. They're going for Zarya. Zarya's the only one on point, ready to get absolutely demolished as the DPS. I mean, you have Cube Zapper, but it's actually, how do you get that pick off right there? Seems like they're just gonna wait it off though.
The Rhine should most definitely have waited back with his team as well. He's making a quite hasty retreat, thinking about maybe going to help out his fellow DPS. I don't know, he's being quite aggressive, staying where he is, and now they actually spot him out. They know that there's a Reinhardt and a Lucio alone on that high ground.
Uh-oh, better start watching out. The Ryan and Lucio, they're coming behind, they're hoping. But this Bastion, you have to, like, I'm seeing Prospect, right? And I see the pattern. They're not respecting. and then they're respecting, and then they're not respecting. And no matter what happens, it's not going to end up well for them if they don't respect in the first half. They are going to be able to get 2 picks up on this PUBG and Kasarda, and this is just from like really good coordination. I know I just talked smack to Prospect, but now they're doing some really good coordination right now, showing that they in fact do know how to use their team comms correctly, doing some really good damage right now.
Definitely, but they're going just a little bit too aggressively. They think better of it. They were looking to maybe stall out the Mercy, but no, they're going to pull back. And you want to talk about respect. Well, what should have happened in that fight was that the team comm comes in, the Reinhardt is above the payload. They must know he has Shatter. They all turn around, they think, okay, we can't see him, he must therefore be gone. That Reinhardt comes right behind and shatters all of them.
Cancer, showing that they don't have any object permanence. Aren't you supposed to get that at like 3? I think Cancer might be a bunch of toddlers. I don't know. Anyway, the fight does continue with upsets, but Yeti going to be the first one to get taken out by a whole host of supports, actually. The ult advantage is on the side of Prospect right now, so you have to be looking towards that, right? But yeah, it just doesn't look too good right now. You do have Pugs that's switching off onto Soldier, already near a Visor, but look, this comp is not made for a Soldier. Hey, like, this is not made for a Soldier. So Prospect, if they're going to have any advantage right now, is the advantage. With the tire coming out, like, showing that, they're not too tired to play the game. But,
well,
like,
I'm looking at the McCree, and I know he has Deadeye, but, who are you countering with this McCree? There's no Sombra, there's no Doomfist. You could argue that Upset Spaghetti is being a problem on this Reaper. You know that he's got Death Blossom up, you're going to try and flashbang him. But if you get close enough, the Reaper, he's just going to press Q. And then you'll be dead.
Okay, so then also, why is Pug set not Hanzo right now? Because the shield break is so big. He does have Visor, but
he does have Visor. He'll be waiting to use that one, I'm pretty sure, and then he'll probably swap because there's no Pharah, which is normally when you see the soldier being pulled out.
As the team fight sort of continues, Park's gonna get 2 picks off. Then I got like 1 pick. Cube Zapper is definitely like the person who's been like annoying them the most. Like Cube Zapper is like the reason why they have not so far, is because he's like really good. But then you also have to look at Pug Sec. Like, you have to understand that even though you're close to ult, the hero just doesn't help.
Well, object permanence, I hope is going to be a thing that they've discovered now, because that is all of the team behind.
Honestly, the Death Blossom comes out, gets on everyone, and solved. I don't understand. Like, it's like, I feel like it's a problem that Cancer is so cocky. Like, not in a bad thing, but like, they've won so many fights, and they've made Prospect like retreat so many times that whenever Prospect sort of leaves, they're like, they must have retreated.
Well, cocky is exactly what SP just did. He pops the sound barrier, even though there is no one from Prospect 3000 in sight. Maybe thinking that, I don't know, someone had quickly swapped to Sombra and was behind him. That's the only reason that I can think for why he would pop that ult, and it's going to be an ult that they're not going to have as a Prospect 3000 make that next attack.
Yeah, we see the next thing coming. Cube Zapper's gonna take down Pugsy, and that's just like, that's gonna be the end of the fight right now. They do pop bongos, they do continue, they tried it, they definitely tried, but Cube Zapper's coming in with the tire right now, taking down Spark, and you think this is gonna be the end of the fight. I mean, they do have Coalescence, they do bring in that Transcendence, but it's just not enough. Prospect has brought down the metaphorical Spike.
It's just not enough, though, is it? They still haven't really been able to get around this bend ever since the payload stopped. Swifty is going to have bulk, but it isn't really impactful. Spark has Deadeye, but what are you going to Deadeye? It's just a shield.
It's a shield. It's just a shield. And that's exactly what's going to happen. You have to cancel that out right there. As Upset is going to have a field day right now. Reinhardt taking up all of the attention, allowing the damage to come off from everyone else. And if you're Cancer, you have to wonder, what is going on right now? What is Cancer? They had such a nice start, but now they're falling behind so hard.
They are indeed falling behind, not even able to get that point to be. Normally, Junkertown point C is where the payload stops. Things just seem to fall apart.
It doesn't seem to be going too well for Cancer, so what happened? I think it might be the fact that Prospect is finally understanding, hey, is that a free Mercy? But in your opinion, what is happening that wasn't happening in the first game?
They got cocky. That's just the simple and short answer is they got cocky. They're pulling off these plays and trying to put into effect these plays that they're not getting away with. They would have in the previous maps, but they're just not getting away with it now because you're seeing now that they're being punished for it. There's knuckling down. There's not quite as much target focus as I would hope being in the team coordinated game when you have 6 people in comms together, but there's still semblance of focus. And semblance of focus is what a Callisti OW is going to have for the next 4 months because they just agreed to a committal of 4 months resub. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you so much. Big brain. Yeah, I was thinking while you're talking, right?
Mhm.
What if this is all a big brain play by a prospect, right? Right? They allow the Mercy to play really aggressive and get some really aggressive, you know, reses, right? Because like, what if they knew that they were gonna lose, right? And so they let Mercy go really aggressive, get some really insane reses off, right? And like they normally do that, and then they start like actually like capitalizing on all the mistakes that they've been letting slide, and just saying like, oh yeah, no, now that you have a habit, start destroying you.
Well, I would love to see whether that's true or not, because that would be the big brain, evil mastermind of a play. However, the Roadhog going down, that's not the best start for the defense.
Yeah, a little bit aggressive for defense right there, wondering their mind right, but you have to wonder what's gonna happen anyways. Upset a pick off onto Sova, and it doesn't matter if Upset got picked off right now. That's the support down out of the fight. It doesn't matter what's gonna happen next. Specca is gonna be getting the Roadhog. The both teams are already down, right? Reaper has to retreat now, and this Widow Spark can do a lot of damage, right? But as soon as Upset comes back in, Spark's out of the fight.
Spark doesn't respect the team. Yes, you're getting the shots off.
No, that's the opposite way. What we're seeing is the other team is not respecting Spark. You have to respect this Widow.
Spark got slapped and he didn't actually get collapsed onto, so he's able to get out and onto the high ground and then get the picks off. This is object permanence again.
This is what I'm talking about. You have to respect players. Spark is soloing this. Like, there's absolutely nothing that the Cancer wants more than Spark to go off for 3 more minutes.
Oh, most definitely. Spark is playing absolutely out of her mind. They're looking for this aggressive angle as well, going actually not onto high ground, onto the flat. This is bold of Widowmakers. If you get jumped, you are essentially dead, and we are seeing actually Cactus is actually gonna spot him out, and he has to fall back to the team.
Honestly, it's a little bit too much right now. What they need to do right now,
they need to go dive. I absolutely hate to say it, but they need to jump on the Widow.
That's exactly what needs to happen. Spark's gonna fall down low. Hopefully Upset, like if they want at this point, Upset needs to get picked off right now. Cubed up, we're gonna take out Swifty, and that's gonna be the start of the fight, right? Soba's going for the res behind the shield, and now the train definitely has to keep on going. You have to try doing it somehow. Pugset in the back lane. Upset gonna take down. Sleep is on the way, and the fight is now going towards them, but they cannot let Spark do what he did again. Spark in the background, looking for a nice pick. He's trying. He's looking, going for someone, but Upset's gonna get Swifty off, and now the fight's on a little bit more. Sparky finally gonna fall down to Upset Spaghetti, and that is going to be fight. If it is anything, they do have a chance to contest, but they're already set on the card. They don't. All you need to do is have an aggressive set. This is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, they're trying to just take this high ground and deny it entirely. This is also going to give them such a boost to get through that first initial corner on point B. There is a fight going up into the high ground, but the point is just going and being pushed. No one is contesting it. The Bonkers goes down to give anyone who wants to second thoughts.
Definitely, and now we'll get to see it. Oh! Cubes absolutely just going off, and that is going to be again. You can try to contest, but the aggressive setup is too much.
You didn't respect the aggression. You didn't respect the supercharges either. They all drop down. You try and you see Pug go for that death blossom, but he gets slapped almost instantly, so no value there, and there will be the immediate swap onto the McCree. Okay. And Spark onto the Genji.
Yeah, you saw it. Swifty almost got completely destroyed right there. What can you even expect? I mean, getting halted into that resetting bomb goes up, goes in the back line. Almost gets Keds. Actually does get Keds up right there. They are going to res it though, but they're down 1 res. No more reses for Soba of any kind, so it's going to fall down. So is Keds, so Swifty falling down a little bit low. The cleave coming off from the Dragons. Genji gonna do a really aggressive swift strike. Should have get a punish right there, but with the Transcendence coming down, holy Buddha, please protect this team because that's exactly what they need. They're gonna start backing up, and now Cancer teams is not starting the throttle, but Spark is going to stop any idea of that.
This is when you swap either your Mercy or your Ana. Preferably the Mercy. You need the Lucio, you need the Zen, because you know Spark's been good on the Widowmaker. He's been really good on the Genji. We just saw him blade, and they had no defensive support ultimate for that. No Sign Barrier, no Transcendence. Nano isn't going to save a team. Valk isn't going to save a team. You need either the Zen or the Lucio, and you need it now.
Survivability.jpg. It is fundamental. This is exactly what you need, but instead of going to dive, instead of going what they probably should have done, now they're running into a Meg. And that's a little bit too much.
It is too much. Soba falling so low though, still goes for the res!
Dude, it's no longer big brain. Like, you need to start punishing Soba. Like, the Soba cannot be going so aggressive with the reses.
Well, you need to start punching the McCree as well. He's behind, he has Deadeye, and he's on the high ground. He does actually give it up.
They're playing behind it's like the pincer tactic when they want to work out as Cactus and upset our of their own. You need, but like, when DPS are in the backline, the tanks aren't even like going back and trying to help them.
No, and at the moment Spark is dealing Cactus, and he finally gets taken down by Cubes, but it's already the Diva out of the fight.
It's a little bit too much to watch right now. As we see the defense, they're doing something right, but the offense is also doing something that isn't adding up to a good defense and a good offense, but it seems like one's working over another. Prospect and be able to get their footing down again, but the railroad spike, they're pulling out, they're yanking it out, they're doing it slowly, as Orisa gets a pick off on the Roadhog, and that's exactly what they did right now. They do pull that off, take out the Mercy, and that's gonna be the fight.
Delara popped Valk trying to deal with the McCree, who they knew had Deadeye, who was on the high ground. Pug pops Deadeye, Delara tries to kill him, doesn't manage to find the shots in time, gets taken back to spawn with the Deadeye that they'd gone up to try and prevent. You don't send a Mercy against a McCree when you know they've got a Deadeye in the pocket, because that McCree will pop it every single time, because you throw away an ult if it means the Mercy is out of the fight.
And they're keep going. 14 seconds left, and Cancer has a chance. Like, you don't see it happen. It's normally third point that you get held at. But Cube Zapper, Sekka, both getting picked off. It's looking a little bit brighter for Prospect right now as the fight definitely does continue. That's going to be Examine Swifty, both down 2-2. This is looking really nice. Soba, again, gets the aggressive res out. They need to do something about this right now. Overtime's already hitting. You only have a few more meters to go. You're so close, but yet you're just getting hub stomped by this main because you don't want to play dive, and now it's not looking too good for them at all. Upset is completely stomping them right now, as we do see Kedza get picked off, and if it's now or never, they have the chance to take this.
They're pulling it back. It is blue in the kill feed, however now it's red because the Moro's out of the fight, and that's so much healing, and Soba gets the res off!
What is this? Has this Roadhog died?
The Roadhog died, and then he's brought back, and Roadhog has so much HP, and there's a McCree deadying it. Oh, it gets free!
And it's over. It's Prospect, you had your chance, but this isn't like you're not respecting the other team. Like, this is not respect. This is like you're misplaying. Like, these are massive misplays that shouldn't be happening at this level.
This is, you need to go to an optician's and get your eyes tested, because you are getting so many things under your nose that should not be happening. A blizzard is coming out though, and it is slowly rolling forward the pillar and might get there after all.
Like, this is actually sort of insane. Like, this is going so far. Like, Cube Zapper is looking for something right now, going for Pug, but not gonna finish it off. Instead, like, Cube Zapper should be focusing one target at a time, but Cube Zapper goes from one target to another target to another target, allowing Pugsec to get, you know, a Deadeye, even though it didn't do anything too badly. You lost a free kill right there. With the mines coming out, it looks little by little, row by row, less and less like they're going to be able to get this push. But with how Prospect has been playing, with how sort of off the wall this game has been, it's not out of the possibility that Cancer or Prospect could either win right now. It's a tier title of a fight, like inch by inch this point goes, but then it gets stopped, but then it goes, but then it gets stopped, and this fight is not ending. Soba getting another res. You just need to take out this Mercy. It's getting a little bit too much at this point. With Break It Down coming in, you have to think, where's the damage from both of these teams?
We
Well, the
see
damage is
Sekta.
on Swifty. They are looking for more. Knight finally gets the Doomfist, slowly but surely taking the way of the blue. But Spark has another visor.
There we go. Now Prospect is really getting onto it, as Spark is the only one who can contest, and decides not to, allowing Prospect to finally take the map after what seems like 20 years of both teams having extreme misplays, making it 2-1.
I mean, you want to talk misplays. I want to see this Mercy, and I want to see her dead. I don't care if I'm a support main. Seeing the reses and the plays that this Mercy gets to get away with. What is going on in the field at the moment, Bite Me? I feel like I'm watching... I hate to say it, but sometimes it feels like I'm watching a very low-level game of Overwatch where things happen that shouldn't happen.
That's definitely what I'm seeing as well. It might be nerves, it might be lack of team communication. It's, you know, the bystander effect, like, someone else would do it. Maybe they're seeing the Mercy, right? But it might be comms or something like that. But both these teams are lacking something.
Well, Team Cancer have an excuse, right? We know that they're a team that are relatively new. They said it themselves in their bio that they are a new team who were formed only a little bit ago over at Discord. So you can see maybe a reason for a disconnect coming from them. Prospect 3000, we don't know how long they've been together, but sometimes it feels like it's kind of just a lot of players who've kind of just come together. And I don't know, maybe it is the nerves, maybe it's the fact that there's quite a lot riding on this match. If whoever wins effectively takes the third place in the standings as they are, something's just not going right.
Yeah, and next map is Eichenwald. So, what do you expect to see? Other than Swifty probably doing some stupid res stuff.
I mean, both
what do you
Swifty
expect
and
to see?
Sober.
Yeah.
Whoever's on the Mercy on the side of Team Cancer, because it was Swifty who was on that Hanamura defense as the Mercy, and it was Sober for the rest of it on the Mercy pick. Both of them got away with so much that it makes me think that it isn't their playstyles, that it's the other team who just... Maybe it's the fact that Mercy isn't really that intimidating. If you know that there's a Doomfist behind, then it's, oh no, there's a Doomfist, he can one-shot me, he can slam me into a wall, he's a big risk, we need to get him out of the way. If it's a Mercy, then you're like, oh, she's gonna maybe, you know, wave her staff and slam it in my face. Like, that's really the worst a Mercy can do.
Honestly.
You need to stop punishing them off, please.
Please do.
It's
You know-
it's beyond the point of insanity at this point, the things that these supports are able to get away with.
Yeah, it's honestly getting a little bit too much. So, what do you expect to see out of these two teams?
What I would expect to see and what I like to see are in two entirely different things. What I expect to see is, well, probably this kind of Mei Reaper on defense. Perhaps not the Reaper, perhaps something that you can just spam the chokes with, maybe a Junkrat or a Hanzo for shield break, but the Mei most definitely. There are a couple of chokes in Eichenwald on defense that you can hold, and you can hold with an Iron or Frozen if you're playing the Mei grip. The Symmetra, it is a strat that I've seen. So what you do is you see that like nice little bridge, the friendly little unassuming bridge with the vines just kind of dotted around it. You put the Symmetra turrets all the way around that bridge, and it is effectively a car wash. You go through it, and you just get absolutely charred to a crisp.
Coming to the car wash.
And Cube Zapper on the Farah, this isn't really unexpected either. Farah can be so useful on this Eichenwald defense. You can play around that tower in the center of the map, so line of sight, a big thing. You can put so much damage in with the rockets as they come out of the spawn doors. You know that they're either going to be coming out of main, which is exactly where they're coming from, or the side, and you can still easily hit a couple there, and you see Cube Zapper ult charge almost 30% already.
I would like to say a prediction for this, but it's a little much. Like, these teams have both displayed that they're really good, and these teams have both displayed that they can have some massive low points. But as the wall comes out, they decided that they want to go left, but the car wash is a little bit intimidating right now. You know, they don't really want to do so much with it. Izuma's going to get taken off in this first fight, and they're just going to retreat. That's definitely what I would do. They already have a cold weapons right now. They're popping it. They want to go in. They want to end this fight right now. They want to get point. But Cube Zapper is going to get Spark ending it. They play aggressive, but they wasted an ult.
Well, they wasted an ult. They wasted Coalescence. Then you look at the defense, and they suddenly put in the Barrage and the Batiste amplification. That was, you put in a Coalescence and you spooked 2 ultimates out of the defense. Ultimates that they're not going to have when you come in for your next attack. Yes, you're not going to have Coalescence, but it builds so fast, and Swifty is already nearly at that Sandberry. He hits it now. You can pop that, go aggressive. You know there's no ultimates that you're going to be running into other than a Valk.
Yeah, and they're looking for, it's like they're having a little bit of a split push here, deciding to go in a little of the hard right. They're going really hard right. In fact, they almost decided like, yeah, I'll go up the stairwells, but decided not to go straight to point instead. The fight's raging on. Upset's gonna deneck Ixma, and as much as I want to say, the damage from Upset's beam is a little bit too much right now.
Oh, most definitely. Symmetra, when she's fully charged, is terrifying. She is just walking around with what is a death laser. We can call it what it is. That is what a fully charged Symmetra is. And look, she's already putting the turrets straight back up. Only 2 at the moment. So this is actually pretty smart. This means that if they try to go through that little doorway to the Symmetra's left there, currently then you can put a nice little turret down there to dissuade them. And that is exactly where that turret comes out from.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like anything's working out. Cube Zapper getting another pick off onto Swifty. Please stop. It's a little bit too much. Like, Swifty is getting a little bit too punished right now. You know, you just can't really. I can't follow that up. Yeah, there's nothing.
Well, Swifty not on the Mercy is apparently a much easier target, even though it's the Lucio, and Lucio is only pretty slippery.
Going hard left. A nice Maywall coming off of Lone right now, deciding to instead go into Blizzard, but get taken out, meaning that the Bap's gonna live in his sweet, sweet immortality field. Just a quick little nap in there as the fight's gonna continue on. Coalescence is gonna pop, but with 2 of your players already down, you're not gonna proc any ults at all. If anything, this is a walk in the park. This is free ult charge on the side of Prospect, as they are showing that they are the only sheriffs in town, and in fact, it's not big enough for 2 teams in this third place position, as the fight does continue to rage on, but on the side of Prospect.
Well, Spark actually swaps onto the Tracer. That is the 60-second remaining gong that we hear just now. So, looking grim for the aggressors. No tick taken. Not really even able to get a foot onto that point so far. Delera is gonna have Valk. Cacti has got this whole hog. Saka is coming up to the superchargers. Those are probably just gonna get plunked down. And do my eyes deceive me, bite me, or are we finally seeing a dive? No, it's back to it's off the Winston dive and onto the Ham.
On the Hammond, but you know, the Hammond dive is still a hive. We do see D.Va going up. Spark trying to deflect the enemy team. We do see Kedzin try to create some space, but it's if any space, it's not that good of a space. We do see High Noon come off as well. Both picks off from both teams. This match is actually really huge right now, but as Delara is deciding to res it up, instead, you know, going for a nice res, not too aggressive like we've been seeing from some people in this game, but, you know, it's aggressive enough that's actually a really nice play, as we do see Upset, Sibs, and Cacti Knight sweep up the fight. And that is going to be, this Doomfist can't get on. That is going to be the first round. So, Prospect either wins, or they tie, and they still win.
I mean, Team Cancer fell apart. This is an entirely different team that we saw from the team that we saw in Lijiang. There's just there's a disconnect between these 6 players that wasn't there before. They're not able to get the environmental kills. I'm pretty sure that's a big part of it as well. You can't go for the Lucio style play or the Orisa stylish halts off the map. Because Iconvolt, there's only a couple of places where you can do that, and that's on point B, on that bridge where you're approaching that nice little drawbridge. So you can't do any of that, which means that you have to rely on the old-fashioned bullets, shield down, kill them better. Simple as.
Mm-hmm. But at this point, you know, the game, like, the series is already over. Like, this has gone to, even if it's a draw, this has gone to Prospect.
That it has. But you're still playing, because you know that you don't want to lose. With that free, you took 1 map, so you're trying to hold on to that, and you know that you can take another map.
Honestly, this is the idea that they want. They are deciding to go for a bunker comp, but oh god, they're not running BAP. This is not looking too well.
This is no bunker. When you want to run bunker, you have to commit to bunker. So you commit, yes, the Mercy pick, good. Okay, the Bastion pick, yes, good. Why the Ana?
The Ana's not needed.
The Ana is not needed, and the idea is you need the Batiste because you have to make sure that the Mercy survives to get the res off. Sober is on the Mercy, so we know that probably isn't going to be a problem. However, Batiste just puts down so much healing, although Cube Zapper already out of the fight.
Ooh, Cube Zapper. Taken out by Swift right there. Seeing, maybe Swifty on this Ana wasn't bad, because it's sort of like a double flanker, but in a single package right now, the next fight is going to be raging up right now. And look how anxious Cube Zapper is to get in there.
Oh yeah, this far is playing pretty passively at the moment, just kind of hovering up, showing their face for only a couple of seconds, putting a rocket in, and you're seeing in the ult charge, Cube Zapper 8%. Far cry away from what it was on the defense, but what is this that happens behind?
Yo, Hammond coming up from behind, trying to spin the win. This is the idea that you're creating space, you're distracting the enemy team. Technonite's gonna fall down, but look how aggressive Reinhardt's playing right now. He's going for this Bastion. Reaper coming up behind, trying to do some damage to the Bastion. That's gonna be Spark down, and this is already dying. Like, this is why you need the BAP. This is why BAP is needed. Sparks can get res because Soba's basically immortal when she's resing, apparently, as the fight does continue on. Sparks can get off pick onto the Ana, as this well thought formulated plan falls down because they could not figure out that Soba was gonna res the Bastion.
Sober apparently has a non-stop immortality field always in their pocket, and I want to know their secret because this is absolutely insane how much this Mercy is getting away with. The Orisa is now back into the fight, so the small window of opportunity that the aggressors had, that is now swiftly closing. Cube Zapper does have the barrage to open it up. We'll see if Prospect 3000 managed to do anything with that. And the lack of the Batiste, that may come back to haunt Team Cancer.
That honestly may come back. I think it haunted them right then and there. Like, if Soba didn't get an extremely aggressive res, watch this right now. Like, if the res didn't come out and it was gonna be too late, too little, too late, the base comes in, Sparks are taken out, the rest are just gonna fall down. There's nothing that they can do about it. They can try to res with Soba. Soba's gonna hedge Reaper Death Blossoms. The fight definitely has a chance to continue going, but with Reinhardt swinging his hammer, Reinhardt's getting really close. Ooh, seems like they actually gonna continue. This is only happening because Soba's getting a res off. Like, this fight should be well and done.
That fight should have been dead in the water. That should have been map. Well, Soba finally punished, finally gonna be slapped, but you've actually got the Reaper waiting to try and make sure that the Mercy survives. Lovely peel from the DPS Reaper there.
Yes, Spark is gonna switch on to Tracer because he knows he doesn't have enough time to do it. 1 minute left. We do see the minefields come out, gonna get Soba out, so there's no more presence coming out at the moment. Yeah, you want to start playing. Offset's gonna get picked off by Pugsec, and they have to think, what are you gonna do? You gotta do something right now. The spin to win comp alone is not enough. The aggressive much comes out from the DPS, and that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing Cube Zapper bring in the real damage as Spark, he's in the backline, he's doing something, but it's not really anything. What they really want to be focusing on is these tanks. That's exactly what they're doing. They're doing such a good job of this. I respectfully, the focus fire isn't that good, but it's somewhere starting off as the tick goes down and down and down. Rogue's the only one left, and that is going to be game 3-1 with Prospect winning.
Well, that is time to Team Cancer fought valiantly. Like, it seemed that Soba with those reses, yes, Cube Zapper got play of the game with the barrage, but the real play of the game, how did Soba get away with those reses by me? It is just insane how much those Mercies managed to get away with.
Well, that is a question to ask for the post-game interview.
That it most definitely is. It'll be interesting to see which one we're going to get from Prospect 3000, but I'm most definitely going to be asking what was going on in the comms when those reses were going off.
And do you have anything to say about those few games? Like, so what happened that we saw from Cancer? Because they started out so well and then they just fell.
They fell indeed. Sometimes they didn't pick the right counters. Sometimes it wasn't the right support. Sometimes you needed a Batiste when you got an Ana. Sometimes you needed, like, especially an Iconvolt. So the barrage comes in, and if you have an Ana, then yes, you have that defensive line because you can sleep her, which means barrage cancelled. You have to land the sleep. You have to have the sleep available, so you can't have used it beforehand, and as an Ana, you will constantly be pressured. That is a statement to anybody who ever wishes to play Ana. I will tell you right now. You will walk out of spawn, you will be pressured. You will walk to the point, you will be pressured. You will be in a team fight, you will be pressured. You will be focus number 1. That is the way it has always been. Supports are the primary target of the enemy. Take out the supports, you take out the tanks because they don't have any healing suddenly. And then you can jump on the DPS.
Mhm.
Well, it will be Cubes Zapper who will be joining us. So we'll get to have a nice little talk. The Farah, the
Talk with the
Farahs.
DPS. Talk with the DPS.
The DPS indeed.
So what happened with the Mercy?
Yeah, that's what I'm definitely going to be asking. So what indeed did happen with that Mercy, and was there a call out or was there not? That's definitely going to be a question.
Maybe they just really like Soba and they don't want to like hurt it. So like, I like the noodle so much.
Maybe it was a gentleman's agreement with Soba. Like, if I'm going for a res, then I'm vulnerable. Please don't shoot me.
Anyway, we do have Cube Zapper in the casting booth. So why don't we get this interview done?
That we will.
Yo, can I shout out my teammates?
Oh, go for it.
Okay, I like to shout out my boy, Seka, big boy Seka. Yeah, he's the best Ryan in the whole game. Let me just get that out. We have Grant, who my bro. We got Nick. We got Crystal, Spaghetti Boy, and the person who's not here today, Big Onisa and Justin, and that's all I have to say.
So you say that someone wasn't here today. Did you have a sub then?
Yeah, that was our support player. Yeah, he was moving houses today, so he can attend today. So we had to sub in Nick.
Have you played with Nick often? Was it a sort of kind of chaotic mess on the comms?
Oh yeah, the comms were chaotic. Let me just say that. Like there was a lot of shouting, and yeah, it was.
Can you give us a quote from a team fight? What the comms sounded quite like?
I'm gonna have to say they weren't really that PG so I'll just say like there was just a lot of shouting. That's just all I can say.
And we have to ask both Bite Me and myself. We noticed that the Mercy from Team Cancer was getting away with quite a lot of stuff that she perhaps shouldn't have. Was there a reason that the Mercy wasn't punished?
I'm not really sure why our Mercy was not being punished. I mean, I thought I'm not really sure why our Mercy wasn't being punished. Yeah, I wasn't spectating. Maybe she did, she was out of position, out of time sometimes, but I'm not sure why she wasn't being punished. You probably have to ask the enemy why.
Well, we would if we could, but unfortunately we don't interview the losers. So congratulations on the win. It was definitely a turn up. There were a couple of fights that seemed to just go on and on and on. How exhausted are you?
I mean, I just like my voice box is like blown out right now. I was just shouting like the last 2 matches, and I got into like an argument, like it was like a friendly argument with my team just now, and it was just like yelling because we were just so happy. And yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Was there a decisive plan of attack? Did you guys come into this knowing what composition?
That last fight, we didn't like. Our Nick was just like, "Yo, I have this crazy idea. We're gonna run Hammond, Farah, and Mercy. We're gonna have them flank all the way in the right, and then the second they touch point, we all just jump in we collapse." And yeah, you have to credit that to the big brain of Nick. He just comes up with random stuff, like, and they just work.
So he's sort of your ideas man then.
Yeah, he's our ideas man, I guess you could say. Yeah.
And being a DPS on a team, I have to ask, how do you deal with it, knowing that you're going to go into fights and there's going to be 6 people all focused on essentially just taking you down as soon as they can?
Well, I mean, I just rely on my tank play. I mean, I rely on my team to back me up. So, like, if I ever see myself in a bad situation, usually my tank feel. I'll ask my you know, I'll get the tanks like Sekka will just peel for me, and you know, my healers will just keep. Yeah, I just rely on my teammates pretty much.
Well,
'Cause-
Bite Me, I know you've got a couple of questions that you've been waiting with bated breath to pose.
Yeah, I
Sorry?
do. So, Cube Zapper. After
Yes.
that first map, because I'm not gonna lie, you guys got absolutely rolled on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, we got.
What do you guys tell yourself? Because you guys like that. What do you guys tell yourself like to stay motivated and to keep on playing?
We were just like, just gotta keep playing. You know, it's like, it's you know, it's not over yet. It's just one match. You know, they just have one map on us. It's not like one map. It's just one map. You know, and there's still 3 more maps left. So you can. Yeah, it's pretty much. We just stay like positive, keep a positive mindset.
And you can say anyone. You just even say yourself. Who do you think in this entire game, it could be from Prospect or from Team Cancer, played the best?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have a Sekka 69. My gay friend, Sekka 69. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
He did really well on Ryan. Basically, he was the one who was calling a lot in the game, and yeah, he made a lot of call outs. Like I'm being honest here. Yeah, he did really well. That's
So
Big
is
shot
he-
caller brain.
yeah, he was
is he
shot
like
calling. Yeah.
the team captain, so to say.
Oh no, I'd say that'd be Nick. Nick is our team captain. The what's it called? SPDPS.
Well, I'm being told just now that Pugsec is actually the viewers' MVP, so they disagree with you ever so slightly there. And
Wow.
that will be... Chat always knows best. We always agree with chat. Those are the rules.
Well, okay. Well, I guess chat's wrong. I'm gonna have to disagree with.
So who would you say Ice Cubes? Because not Ice Cubes. That's the interview. Bite Me. Who would you pick as your MVP?
Like no joke.
Honestly, if I
Like
was
a
to pick MVP, Soba for big brain doing extremely aggressive reses somehow. Soba gets MVP because apparently Soba has immortality field when they res.
I mean, I don't know. Like you haven't seen Sekka play in scrims. Like the guy is the most aggressive Rhine player in the entire game. Like he will literally like he will be critical in trance. Like there was a scrim we played where Sekka managed to get down. Like his health was so low, he managed to get to critical while we were using trance. So the guy's just a beast on Rhine. I just putting out that he's an underrated Rhine player.
Well, I mean,
those-
you have to be a really good player to be able to keep going with Reinhardt, especially in
Yeah.
this meta. What do you think now that Goats is dead in the water and that 222 has become a thing? Do you think this forced meta was needed, or should Goats have stayed alive just a little bit longer?
Personally, I just liked playing goats. I have PTSD flashbacks to playing break, being forced to play break. So yeah, I'm actually very excited for the
So-
222.
Enjoying freedom from break
Yes,
prison.
yeah, yeah. I was literally forced to play break, and yeah, it was not enjoyable.
So if I look at your career profile, exactly
You
how
will
many
see.
hours of breaking will I see?
Like I literally never played break before Ghosts existed, and when Ghosts came around, they were like, "Okay, you're playing break." I'm like, "Okay, I guess, you know, that's my new hero now," and I just played him in every scrim, and it was not fun. for
Also,
me.
I take it there was quite a lot of satisfaction coming from reading the patch notes and seeing that she's been
Yeah,
reworked
Yeah.
and essentially deleted
Yeah.
from what many people
yeah,
would say.
yeah. I mean, yeah, like just seeing 222 Rollock and what happened to Brig, it's just like it just brings tears to my eyes.
Well, I'm
it-
sure it must be very emotional. I never had to play
Yes.
break, thank goodness. I was always the Zenyatta of the
blessing.
Lucio, so I
Yeah,
got
that's
to
a
break
blessing.
free of that one.
Yeah.
Bite Me, any further questions that you wish to pose while we still have the chance?
No, I think I found my.
Well, thank you so much for joining us afterwards. You must be absolutely exhausted. Go get some rest,
Yeah.
my dude. You have most definitely earned it.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the rest of my teammates as well for I don't know they were just like, okay, you know what, you can do this interview. So and I like to thank you guys as well for having me on the.
Well, we couldn't do anything without our brilliant production team, or I should say production man. So thank you, Refuse, for putting all of this on. It is a joy and pleasure to work with you. And as well, Bite Me, this is our first cast together. And I look forward to another one. It's been awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. Oh, casting us? Yeah. We have been casted before, like.
That you have indeed. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been
Thank you.
amazing. It's been a pleasure to cast both yourself and the Team Cancer.
Yes.
And can I just say congratulations and good luck for your future games, because I do believe you're now 3rd place in the standings.
Yeah, it's pretty satisfying to get like our revenge win on Team Cancer, because they destroyed us like in the last match. This is a pretty
the
big
redemption
win for
arc.
us. Yeah, this is our redemption arc.
Did you come into this then knowing that Team Cancer were going to be fielding the compositions that they did and coming in with specific counters in mind?
Yeah, Nick, yeah, I mean, SBDPS was like, he had, right before the game started, he had like this entire plan for us. He was like, they're gonna roll us, like he literally predicted, like his brain is so huge, and he predicted, he was like, they're gonna roll us on the first point, but don't give up, because we're gonna stomp them in the other 3. Well, he didn't say stomp, but he said, you know, something similar. He was like, we're gonna do well on the next 3 maps if we played, yeah, if we followed his strategy, basically.
Well, follow the strategy. You apparently most certainly did, so congratulations on the win and moving up in the standings. I do believe that is going to be all that we have time for tonight. So with a goodbye from me, goodbye from our lovely interviewer.
A goodbye from me. Thank you guys for having me. It was absolutely a great time.